Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Ayubowan. Vanakkam. Dear students, this is my second video on literature. If you wish to continue the G.C.E literature, subscribe my channel and click the bell mark. Okay students, today I am going to teach you the poem To the Evening Star, which was written by William Blake. This is a sonnet. This poem has 14 lines and 3 quatrains and a couplet. The first line, second line, third line and fourth line. This is the first quatrain, and these 4 lines are called as the second quatrain, and these 4 lines are called as the third quatrain, and this is the couplet. But in the poem, in the sonnet To the Evening Star, it is an unrhymed poem. Sonnet, it's an unrhymed sonnet. The word sonnet is derived from an Italian word. Totally, this sonnet doesn't comprise a rhyming order. Okay students, now I will read the poem, the sonnet. Thou fair-haired angel of the evening, now whilst the sun rests on the mountain's light, thy bright torch of love, thy radiant crown, put on and smile upon our evening bed. Smile on our loves, and while thou drawest the blue curtains of the sky, scatter thy silver dew on every flower that shuts its sweet eyes. In timely sleep, let thy west wind sleep on. The lake speak silence with the glimmering eyes, and wash the dark with silver. Soon, full soon, dost thou withdraw, then the wolf rages wide, and the lion glares through the dun forest. The fleeces of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Protect them with thine influence. Okay students, now I will read the first line of the first quatrain. Thou fair-haired angel of the evening. Okay students, I have marked some words. Can you identify this figure of speech? Can you identify this figure of speech? Is it a metaphor? Is it a personification? Or is Is it a simile or is it a symbolism? Can you tell as to what is it? Angels of the evening. This is a metaphor. Students, do you know as to what is a metaphor is? A metaphor is a comparison of two things without using as or like. I'll repeat it once again. A metaphor is a comparison compared with two things without using as and like. Okay, now I'll move on to the second line. Now, whilst the sun rests on the mountain light. You see, I have marked sun rests. You see, sun rests. The poet had used sun rest instead of sun sets. Normally, a sun doesn't rest. Isn't that so? Now the poet had used as sun rests because he wants to give human qualities to the poem, or he wants to treat it as if it were human, or he wants to personify. Okay. Now the poet had used the personification to treat the sun as if it were human or something else. Third line. Thy bright torch of love, thy radiant crown. At this place, I have marked two groups. Can you identify it? What is it? Is it a personification? Or is it a symbolism? Or is it a simile? Can you identify it? Right? There are two metaphors. This is one metaphor and another metaphor. The poet had used two metaphors. Okay, now I'll move on to the last line of the first quatrain. Put on and smile upon our evening bed. Evening bed is underlined. Evening bed is underlined and smile is also underlined. What is it? It is a simile. Evening bed, what is it? It is a metaphor. The poet had used a simile and a metaphor in the fourth line. Okay, student. Now I will move on to the second line of the second quatrain. Smile on our loves, and while thou drawest the blue curtains of the sky, scattered thy silver dew. You see, blue curtains of the sky. There are two things. Isn't that so? It is written without using as or like. Blue curtains of sky. What is it? It is a metaphor. Okay. I'll go on to the other line. On every flower that shuts its sweet eyes. Flower that shuts its sweet is underlined. What is it? Is it a metaphor, simile, or personification, or symbolism? What is it? It is a personification. Okay, next I'll move on to the last line of the second quatrain. In timely sleep, let thy west wind sleep on. Sleep on is underlined. What is it, student? It is a personification. Okay, now I'll move on to the third quatrain of the sonnet. The lake speak silence with the glimmering eyes. Glimmering eyes is underlined. What is it, students? Is it a metaphor or is it a simile? It is a personification. Glimmering eyes is a personification. Next line, and wash the dusk with silver soon, full soon. What is it? Wash the dusk with silver. What is it? It is a metaphor. Okay, students, I will move on to the third line. Dost thou withdraw? Then the wolf ranges. Why? Wolf ranges. What is wolf ranges? It is a symbolism. Next one. And the lion glares through the dun forest. What is it? It is also a symbolism. The lion glares is also a symbolism. I will switch on to the last two lines, which we call it as couplets. Couplet. Do you know the meaning of the word couplet, students? Couplet means when the two words rhyme at the end of the lines, it is called couplets. The fleeces of our flocks are covered with. Our flocks. What is it? It is a symbolism. Okay. Thy sacred dew protects them with thine influence. Okay. Okay, students, now we discussed about the first quatrain, second quatrain, third quatrain and the couplet. Okay. Now these two words are not rhyming and the sonnet is an unrhymed poem. Okay, students, now we will try to analyze the first quatrain. Okay, students, I will read the first quatrain. Thou fair-haired angel of the evening, now whilst the sun rests on the mountain light, thy bright torch of love, thy radiant crown, put on and smile upon our evening bed. Okay, students, in the first quatrain, the poet addresses the poet talks about a fair-haired angel of the evening. Okay. It is the second planet of the solar system next to the sun. It was named by the Roman goddess of love, beautiful and fertility. It's a metaphor used to express the shining star as beautiful goddess who protect the people during the dark. The evening star appears when the sun starting resting on the mountains. Okay. Sun rests. The sun setting is sun sets. Personified as resting on the mountains. It is like a person who is resting after the exhausted hours of daytime work. Therefore, the poet calls upon the evening star to light a torch of love. The torch of love is a metaphor that transforms light to love. The torch is the light spread by the star in the sky. The metaphor is light empowered with love. Okay, students. Now we'll move on to the second quatrain and we'll try to analyze the second quatrain. Okay, I'll read it before you. Smile on our loves, and while thou drawest the blue curtains of the sky, scatter thy silver dew on every flower that shuts its sweet eyes. In timely sleep, let thy west wind sleep on. Okay, students, now we'll try to analyze the second quatrain. The poet appeals to the evening to smile when we love. The poet involves blessing of goddess Venus on relatives, friends, and animals whom we love. The poet asks the goddess Venus to scatter dew as a blessing in the form of droplets on every petal of flowers to sweet eyes. Here the poet employs a striking metaphor by comparing the flower petals to sweet eyes. Some flowers open their petals at day and they close their petals at night like sleeping. The natural phenomenon is depicted through a visual image and shutting sweet eyes. The silver dew symbolizes the wishing of the god Venus for the flowers to sleep at night as they are awaiting during the daytime, being exposed to the sunshine. It symbolizes the silver beams of the Venus star, draws the blue curtains of the sky. Draws the blue curtains of the sky. It is a metaphor. It signifies how the sky becomes blue, like drawing a curtain over the sky after sunlight. Okay, students. Now we will move on to the third quatrain. Students, I will read the third quatrain. The lake speaks silence with the glimmering eyes, and wash the dusk with silver, soon full stop. Dost thou withdraw, then the wolf ranges wide, and the lion glares through the dun forest. Okay, students, now we'll try to analyze the third quatrain. Okay, in the third quatrain, the poet asked the goddess to maintain silence and peace by making the water of the lake calm with the glimmering of the star and reflecting it. The poet further asks the goddess Venus to wash the night sky with silver. That is to get rid of the darkness filling up the night sky with the silver color light of the moon. But we should not forget that the moon appears in the sky at night. In the rest of the verse, it is mentioned that as soon as the evening star leaves the sky, the ferocious animals like wolves and lions come out of the forest in search of innocent victims. The wolf becomes violent and angry while the lion stares ferociously at flock of sheep for an attack. Okay, students, now we will move on to the last two lines. The fleeces of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Protect them with thine influence. Okay, students, now we'll try to analyze the last two lines. In the last two lines, or in the couplet of this unrhymed poem, the poet is like a shepherd and he appeals to the goddess Venus to show her holy dew over the flocks of sheep. Thus the dew that falls in the evening is like to holy water that protects humans from evil. Personification is used to describe the techniques used in the lines. Okay, students, now I want to say a few words about the theme. Okay, students, according to the belief of ancient Romans, the Venus is the goddess whose name was given to the second planet of the solar system. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. The planet is so named because it is the brightest of the planets known to the ancient. This is the planet called the evening star because it always shines in the west sky. Okay students, I would like to remind you once again, if you wish to continue with my lessons on literature, you subscribe my channel and click the bell mark. Okay students, that's all I hope to discuss about this sonnet today. We will meet you later with another video. Okay, thank you very much.